Hi, and welcome to EWorldBlue's Proactive Action Pipeline and Business Plan. Let's start by letting you know that this is strictly an Excel program and you must have Excel in order to use it. I'm going to open up the program now. You're going to be getting a couple of these programs. Some of them are going to be blank. This is just a demo sheet just to give you an idea as to how it works. And the first thing I want you to do is go to File, when you open up a blank one that is, and do a Save As, and save a couple of them. Just change the name and save a couple of them as blanks so that you have them for the future years, because you can continue to use them. I'm just going to cancel that. Also up here you could put your name. Let's say for example it's Mary Realtor, and let's put the year as 2013, and then you would do a file and save, which I'm not going to do, but you do a file and save. Let me just go back here. Okay, now you got your name and you got the year, so this is going to be your pipeline and business plan for this particular year. Now I would like to go over a couple of things with you. This is, if you notice, there's a 30-day, 60-day, 30, 60. There's a 90-day and 120-day, and the arrow is pointing up because that's the direction where that 120 days is. And the reason for this is because you're putting your buyers and sellers into different categories. And the ones that are more active, you're going to put into a 30-day category. The 30-day category is for people that you're probably going to be calling at a more frequent basis. If, for example, you have somebody in a 60-day category, you're going to call them, but not quite as much. And then down, as you go down further to 90 days and so forth, 120 days, you're just going to be giving them tickler calls occasionally. But the ones up here in the 30-day category and maybe the 60-day category, you're going to be calling more frequently. The other thing is that we're going to look and we're going to put an entry in, and if you click on the box, you're going to notice the drop down box. If you use the drop down box, you got today's date, and you're going to put in a customer. So let's put in a buyer, and we'll put in let me just put it all in capital letters. Joe Buyer, and Joe Buyer is looking to spend $400,000, and here's where you would put, let's make that 400,000. Here you would put his phone number, and now you've got the contact information. The whole idea of this is that every day you're going to open this pipeline up. You're going to take a look at your buyers, your sellers, and you're going to give them phone calls. You're going to stay in touch with them. This is going to keep you proactive. This is going to keep you knowing what you're doing and where you're going. Very important. Rather than just sitting there doing nothing, you should open this form and make some phone calls. It's very, very important to be proactive in this business. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is, let's say Joe Buyer, who is currently active, decides, I got to put things off for another month because something happened and something's come up. So, you know what? Joe Active is not going to be a 30-day buyer anymore. He's going to be a 60-day buyer. So let's click on 60 days. We've highlighted Joe, clicked on 60 days, and Joe Buyer is now in the 60-day category. If you want to further put Joe further down on the list into 90 days, you click on his name, click on 90 days, and Joe is in 90 days. You want to put him to 120? Let's put Joe to 120. And Joe is now in 120 days. All of a sudden Joe calls up and says, I'm ready to go again. Let's put him back in 30 days. And there is Joe back in 30 days. If you notice there's a space in here, that's where Joe was. If you want to just sort it, just click on sort 60 days and it is now sorted. Let's assume now that we want to put a different date for Joe. Let's say we're not going to use the default drop down box date. So let's click on this, let's click on a blank, and let's click in that blank and let's put in let me get that going here, hold on. 1/20/13. Okay, now we put a different date in here because maybe we started to work with Joe at a different date. We forgot to put him in. Well, for some reason it just didn't work out that you got him into your pipeline right away. And look, he's out of order. Let's just click on Joe and sort him. And now Joe is in the proper date order. Okay, this is just so that you keep things nice and neat. And if you go down and take a look at the bottom, okay, this is where we had a slot where Joe, we put him. We're going to sort that, get rid of that blank, and if you look here, you're going to see potential sale. Potential sale, as we put in for Joe, was $400,000. That is potential sale. This is what he's looking to spend. It's not necessarily what he's going to spend when he gets right down to buying a house. When you look down this here and you see the totals, it gives you the totals of everybody that you're working with for the entire list, and it gives you an idea as to how much potential income that you have coming in. How many potential sales are there? Okay, all well and good. Let's move on to your contracts. I'm going to click on contracts. Here's your contracts. Nothing from the pipeline is carried over from contracts, but let's say, for example, we're going to get Joe Buyer in here. Joe Buyer just bought a house. So we're going to put Joe Buyer into the contracts. When did he go into contract? Again, you got a drop down list here. Let's say it was today's date. Let's put today's date in. It doesn't have to be. You might enter him in here. Maybe he doesn't go into contract until the following day. So this one here doesn't have a drop down box. So let's put down, for argument's sake, /28/13. Okay, so now he's in there. It's a one-sided sale. You've only got Joe as a buyer, so you're going to put a 1 in. We're going to go over here, and Joe bought something for $420,000. Okay, that's the contract amount. And just for argument's sake, let's say you're going to get a $5,000 commission on this deal. You put in $5,000. Now, the next thing you're going to put in is the date that you think it's going to close. This is not an exact science. It's just a date that you think it's going to close. So we're going to look here into this drop down box, and let's say we think that this is going to close in September. We're going to put down the on or about date, or the on by date. It depends on your state. September. This is important because what it's going to do is when you get to your next page, which is cash flow, coming down here, I don't want to click on it, it's going to show up. Everything that you have here is going to be transferred over there. You do not have to make a double entry. You notice here that says end January. Your drop down box has end January, February, and March. The end stands for next year, because when you get towards the end of the year, if you put something in there that's in contract in December, it may not close until January or February, so you want to carry it over. It's just a carryover. When you get into the next year, you probably want to start using your new sheet and make some transfers. Okay, let's go to the bottom of the page, and you're going to notice here, this is the contract amount, the total of your contract amounts. This is the actual commission amount, or I should say your projected commission amount, what you think you're going to make. All right, not to the penny, don't worry about it. But what this is doing, it's letting you know what's going on. It's letting you know how you're doing as far as business. How many things do you have in contract? Your pipeline is leading up to contracts, and that's what you want to do. Don't forget, you got a clear row, which means that's all you have to do. Is if you want to get something here, and let's eliminate one here, we just clear that row. The row is clear. You want to sort it, we sort it. We've taken care of that blank space. Now let's go down here and take a look at the cash flow. Here's your cash flow, and if you notice, every month has got something in it except January. All right, and we've got one in the end month, all right, which is January of the following year. If you go down to the bottom, you're going to see the totals in every month that you've got a projected amount of commission coming in, and this is your total over here, your total for the year. The end month's total is over here. You look back up here and you're going to see the $10,000, and this is a combined total last year and this year. And here you've got some notes on the bottom just giving you an explanation. What we want to do now is take a look at your sales chart, and if we look at your sales chart, notice that January is empty, and look, you've got everything different over here, and you know what, it's giving you all of the projections. $16,000 coming in this month in commissions, $12,000 on this month, September, or just about $12,000. But what I want to do now is I want to go back here to here's your cash flow. We don't have anything here. You can't make any changes here. It's not going to work. But you have to go back to your contracts, and let's say we're going to take somebody that's in your contracts. No, we're not in contract. We're still in cash flow. Hold on. Here we go. We're going to get something in contracts, and we're going to take somebody. Let's say that they're in. We got 2 in September. Just for argument's sake, let's change this here, and let's put this person into January, just so that we see how it affects everything. Okay, now we're going to go back to your cash flow, and now you've got 5,000 in January, and you're going to go to your sales chart, and you've got 5,000 in your sales chart. So it's pretty simple to use, and it's going to give you an idea as to what you're doing and how you're doing, and that's very, very important. And this business plan will keep you on track. As I said, most business plans are very, very horrific as far as keeping yourself on track and doing all kinds of manipulations. This one here basically does it for you. It's minutes a day, and there's no reason why you can't do it. It's your business. You are your own business, and you should be doing it. These directions over here are just for quick use, basically explaining what you've just seen, and I think you should have a good time using this, and good luck.